The narrative of each encounter is a thread in the fabric of our understanding of the ocean's ecosystem, weaving tales of survival, resilience, fear, and, above all, respect for the majestic inhabitants of the deep. Embarks on a journey into the heart of these encounters, not to sensationalize the fear or danger, but to honor the stories of individuals whose lives momentarily intersected with one of nature's most revered yet feared predators. Join us as we traverse the turbulent waters that have witnessed these encounters, as we explore the insights gleaned from the experiences of those who found themselves face to face with the powerful beings that roam the ocean's realms. By delving into these narratives, we aim to unravel the complexities of the ocean's ecosystem and decipher the delicate interplay between humanity and the enigmatic world of sharks. We will unpack these incidents, exploring the circumstances, reactions, and aftermath of individuals who, for a fleeting moment, found themselves part of the intriguing and occasionally perilous tango between man and shark. Recent shark bites in Florida and Hawaii and a suspected case in New Jersey have raised an age-old summer question for beachgoers. Is it safe to go in the water? Scientists and researchers who study sharks said the answer to that question is yes, it is safe. Dangerous interactions between humans and sharks are uncommon, and serious injuries and deaths from the bites are rare and growing rarer, scientists said. Still, the extraordinary nature of shark bites and the stories of survivors capture the imagination. The story of a Hawaii surfer fighting off a shark got widespread public attention, for example. But it is a good idea to remember just how rare shark bites truly are, scientists said. There have been around 70 to 80 unprovoked shark bites yearly, worldwide, over the past 10 years. And not only are shark bites rare, they have been especially rare recently. There were only 57 unprovoked bites last year, and just 5 of them were deadly, reports the University of Florida's International Shark Attack File. There had been 9 such deaths in 2021. The Shark Attack File reported a year ago that one reason for the drop in bites might be the decrease of shark populations around the world. It is too early in the warm season to get an idea of how active this year will be for interactions between humans and sharks, said Greg Scomal. He is a shark expert with the Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries. If we get lots of bait fish and forage fish species close to shore, we have a super hot summer that draws people to beaches, more people in the water. Then we can determine the risk, Scomal said. What are the most prone areas for shark encounters? The United States and Australia are the sites of the most reported shark bites. The state of Florida led the world last year with 16 unprovoked bites, the Shark Attack File said. This month, 2 Florida fishermen were bitten by sharks in separate incidents less than 36 hours apart. The rate of shark bites has stayed steady in recent years, but people may think attacks are more common because of new technology to report shark sightings, said Nick Whitney, a lead scientist at the New England Aquarium in Boston. Recently developed smartphone apps permit users to report shark sightings in real time. White sharks, bull sharks, and tiger sharks are the sharks most cited by the International Shark Attack File for unprovoked bites. They are large sharks that also cause the most deaths. However, remember that many interactions with sharks are with smaller species that are unlikely to cause serious injuries, said James Sulikowski, director of the Coastal Oregon Marine Experiment Station at Oregon State University. Those sharks might bite a human, realize we are not their desired prey, and move on, he said. You are at much greater risk of getting hurt in a car accident on the way to the ocean than you are to get seriously injured by a shark bite when you are there. Millions of people go to the ocean in the summer as the weather heats up, and that raises the possibility of interacting with a shark. But by taking simple steps, visitors can reduce any chance of a dangerous interaction with a shark, Sulikowski said. Such steps include avoiding the water early and late in the day, when most sharks hunt for food. You should also not carry anything shiny into the water. We are intruders in their environment. What we can do is be logical and safe about that and avoid areas where sharks are going to be feeding, Sulikowski said. When an interaction occurs, it's mistaken identity. We are in an area where a shark is looking to eat. Following are some incidents in which swimmers got bitten by sharks. One, Simon Nellist. A little over a year ago, a swimmer, a vet from the West's misadventure in Afghanistan, was hit and killed by a 15-foot great white shark at Little Bay, a few clicks south of Maroubra Beach in Sydney's southeast. Simon Nellist, who was 35, was practicing for an upcoming charity swim when the white hit from below, attacking while onlookers watched and filmed from rocks a few meters away. Fisherman Chris Linto said he saw the white attack. The shark came and attacked them vertically. Linto told 9 News. We heard a yell and then turned around. The splash looked like a car just landed in the water. Another fisherman said the man was in front of him when he was dragged underwater by the great white. When he went down, there were so many splashes. It was terrible. I am shaking, he told ABC News. I keep vomiting. It's very, very upsetting. He just enjoying the day, but that shark took his life. There's a video kicking around of the attack, but you probably want to avoid. Here's some of the dialogue. Someone just got eaten by a shark. Oh man, oh no. That's insane. That's a great white shark. The person's still there. I just saw a 4 to 5 meter great white explode on the surface just here on a swimmer, and it was like a car landing in the water. Fuck, man. I heard a scream and the shark was just chomping on his body, and the body was in half just off the rocks here. It came back and swallowed parts of his body, and that was it. It disappeared. Half of Nellist's body was recovered. Ironically, 6 months earlier, Nellist posted on Facebook, "Shark net and drum lines protect no one and kill all kinds of marine life each year." It was the first fatal shark attack in Sydney since 1963, when the actress Marcia Hathaway, legs as delicate as a crane's, and let's not be coy here, fine jutting breasts clearly created by God, was hit in Sydney Harbour, although not, as you know, the first or last fatal great white attack in Australia, where the fish has been afforded federal protection since 1999. Now, the International Shark Attack File has, inexplicably, at least on the surface, labeled the attack a provoked incident for the purposes of its macabre ledger. While Mr. Nellist did nothing consciously to provoke an incident, he was swimming in an area where people were fishing. Gavin Naylor, director for the Florida Program for Shark Research, wrote in an email to the Shark Bites YouTube channel, "Fishing is an activity that draws sharks in. We therefore consider it provoked for our purposes. Any factor that draws sharks to an area, fishing, chumming, scalloping, etc., or behavior that goads the shark, riding them, petting them, feeding them, you might be surprised what people do, are thought to induce behaviors that are not typical." Relatives say Nellist's mother was left wondering, how could he return from the front line of Afghanistan unscathed to then go to Australia, go out for a swim, and get killed? 2. Charles Van Sant. These days, even the mention of sharks can strike fear into the hearts of many, but it wasn't always this way. Decades before Steven Spielberg's Jaws, 1975, convinced beachgoers not to go into the water, there was one fateful summer when a series of shark attacks led to widespread panic and earned these giant fish a bad reputation for good. It was the summer of 1916 when ocean swimming was still a relatively new way to pass the time, and a heat wave attracted more people than usual to the beach. People knew there were sharks in the ocean, but were fairly unconcerned. All those sharp teeth were for catching prey, and humans were much too big to prey upon. However, everything changed over the course of 12 days, when a series of shark attacks along the New Jersey shore left 4 dead and 1 gravely injured. The first victim was 25-year-old Charles Van Sant, who went out for an evening swim in Beach Haven, New Jersey. Something grabbed his leg and tore away a huge chunk of flesh. He eventually bled out from the injury. At the time, there was uncertainty about whether the man-eating creature was actually a shark. Some even suggested it might have been a sea turtle, an animal thought to have a penchant for snapping at people. As far as most people knew, sharks in those waters were generally harmless. Just 5 days after the first attack, 45 miles north of Beach Haven in Spring Lake, a shark, likely the same one, claimed another victim. At this point, fear began to spread. Newspapers started running headlines about the shark attacks, and beachgoers took to the water with more hesitation. Unfortunately, 2 more people were to lose their lives. Surprisingly, the next attacks took place in an inland creek, more than a mile from the closest bay. An 11-year-old boy was taken by a shark, and then a man in his would-be rescue party was also fatally attacked. Later that same day, a teen was injured after a shark attacked his leg. He would be the only survivor. It was not until 2 days later when 2 men out fishing near Matawan Creek killed a shark. almost certainly the perpetrator. In self-defense, that the reign of terror ended. Scientists confirmed that the deadly fish captured by the fishermen was a white shark, and it was reported that upon examining the shark's stomach, they discovered nearly 15 pounds of human flesh. The veracity of these claims is still in question. Although the attacks that summer ended, the sense of fear and foreboding it engendered lingers. Although shark attacks are rare, and it is extremely unlikely for sharks to prey on humans, beachgoers are still constantly on the lookout. The initial view of a shark as just a fish has perhaps forever changed, despite efforts on the part of scientists to dispel the negative stereotype. 3. Two swimmers in South Carolina. Two swimmers at South Carolina's popular Myrtle Beach were bitten by sharks, but were expected to survive, police said. Myrtle Beach police said in a statement, the first attack occurred near the waters of 82nd Avenue North at about 11:17 a.m. A second swimmer was bitten about 12:35 p.m. off the waters of 75th Avenue North, police said. The injuries in both instances were later confirmed to be caused by a shark, police said. Our beach patrol works with the Florida Program for Shark Research at the University of Florida to identify marine animal bites, specifically sharks. A police spokesperson said, Friday the swimmers' injuries were not life-threatening, and the victims were a female juvenile and a woman. One of the victims suffered a serious injury to the forearm, and the second a more glancing bite to the leg, police told media outlets. The attacks happened about a half-mile apart, and police said there is no way to know if they are related. She had been on her first day of vacation with her 8-year-old grandson, and in waist-deep water when the attack occurred. I just felt something, I guess, bite me, and there was a shark on my arm. I kept pushing at it to get it off my arm, and it did, she said. Brian Seitz said he heard his grandmother scream. I couldn't even see the shark coming up, but all I saw was the shark jumped up, and it didn't even bite all the way, WPDE reported. Shark attacks on humans are extremely rare. While millions of people enjoyed the water, just 47 shark bites were reported at beaches in the U.S. in 2021. According to the International Shark Attack File maintained by the University of Florida, 4 shark attacks were reported in South Carolina last year. Florida led the nation with 28. The group said. On July 6th, a 49-year-old Arizona man was bitten on the wrist and the buttocks in waist-deep water off Seaview Beach around 6 p.m., Suffolk County Police said. Earlier in the day, about 20 miles away, a shark bit a paddleboarder near Smith Point, which, like Seaview, is on Fire Island, officials said. The person was knocked off a paddleboard about 7:30 a.m. and suffered a 4-inch gash to the leg, Suffolk County Executive Steve Ballone said. The dance between humans and sharks, played out in the vast, awe-inspiring expanse of the world's oceans, is a nuanced and intricate tapestry. The tales of swimmers encountering these apex predators narrate moments that transcend mere brushings with danger. They become pivotal markers in the evolving relationship between man and the natural world. The whispers of these incidents ripple through time, provoking contemplation on the depths of our understanding of these magnificent creatures and the coexistence that must be forged in the watery realm they call home. A fascination as old as humanity itself, the ocean casts an enchanting spell, drawing adventurers, explorers, and seekers of the unknown. It's in these depths that the symbiotic yet volatile relationship between humans and sharks emerges. The stories of those who have been bitten by sharks encapsulate the peril and fascination that stems from these entanglements. They speak of moments when the thin veil separating safety from danger is torn asunder, plunging individuals into an intimate dance with the untamed forces of the deep. Within the mosaic of these narratives lie profound lessons waiting to be unraveled. Each bite incident serves as a chapter in the grand narrative of our relationship with these predators of the sea. They invite scrutiny, trigger debates, and inspire a thirst for comprehension and resolution. These incidents are not merely testaments to the raw power and inherent danger of sharks, but they also shed light on the human capacity for resilience, adaptation, and understanding. The encounters between swimmers and sharks are not merely random acts of violence from a misunderstood species. They are complex moments shaped by various factors: ecological, behavioral, and circumstantial. Through the testimonies of those who have experienced these encounters, we aim not just to recount tales of survival, but to unpack the nuances of shark behavior, the circumstances that lead to these startling events, and the aftermath of such confrontations. There's an intrinsic need to explore beyond the sensational headlines and daunting statistics. It's imperative to unravel the mysteries behind shark behavior, delve into the ecological web that ties humans and these creatures together, and comprehend the underlying currents that drive these interactions. By understanding these incidents, we strive to foster a deeper appreciation for the delicate balance required in the cohabitation of humans and sharks in their shared habitat.